A new Star Wars movie is in the works that is set to open on December 18th, 2015. I suspect this isn't news to any of you. Most of you are probably wearing your Boba Fett underoos as we speak. I mention it because amongst us are millions who have never seen Star Wars, or worse, have only seen the prequels. They're going to be playing catch up and they need your help. So for their sake and for the sake of everyone around you who's going to be dealing with your purely speculative critique of the new movie, I've made this top 5. I'm Donald Bell, and assuming George Lucas or Disney don't sue the pants off of us, in this week's top 5 I'll be counting down the best viewing orders for the current Star Wars movie saga. Starting off at number 5, episode order. Makes sense, right? You start off at episode 1 and make your way through the prequels before getting to the original trilogy. I recommend this to no one. First off, episode 1, The Phantom Menace, is universally regarded as awful to anyone over the age of 10. You're gonna lose people. If not with Jar Jar, then with 100 other unnecessary characters in that film. But most importantly, going in episode order spoils the biggest plot twist in the whole series. Certain family bloodlines are made abundantly clear by the end of episode 3, which makes it really weird in episode 4, the original Star Wars, that no one is telling Luke some very critical information about the guy he's trying to kill or the girl he's trying to kiss. Ew. So how about number 4? Chronological order. You go in the order they were made, starting with the 1977 original and looping back around to the prequels. You preserve the innocence of the original, the surprise of Yoda, and the plot twist that really anchors the whole entire series. This way works, but with one big flaw. At the end of Return of the Jedi, when Luke looks at his befallen mentors in the midst of that furry rave, George Lucas slipped Hayden Christensen into that lineup looking like some Jedi hipster. Anyone who hasn't seen the prequels at that point isn't going to put together that the voice of James Earl Jones somehow comes out of this twerp. Also, it means that your Star Wars marathon is going to end in the prequel episode 3, which just doesn't feel right. So how about we try option number 3? Flashback order. You start with the original 2, episodes 4 and 5, establish the characters people actually care about, and then cut back to the prequels 1, 2, and 3 to see their origin story, and then end on 6, Return of the Jedi. This way there's no spoiling the original or the twist of Empire, you get the backstory of Vader when you're most curious about it, and you leave the most satisfying movie ending for the last, and this time, you know who the hell that skeevy ghost teenager is. But maybe there's a simpler answer. At number 2, the original trilogy. Keep it short and clean. Who says we even have to acknowledge that the prequels exist? Jar Jar can be a secret we keep from our children like Disney's Song of the South. The new Star Wars, Episode 7, is set to take place 30 years after Return of the Jedi. If that's true, then everyone from the prequels is probably dead. The original trilogy will be more than enough to get people up to speed, and then it's just on you to explain why that ghost at the end looks like a hungover Starbucks barista. Which brings us to number 1. Machete order. Conceived by Rod Hilton and named after his blog, Machete order takes the flashback order and does something magical. It goes 4, 5, 2, 3, 6, and it treats episode 1 like the forgettable, unnecessary bastard that it is. All of the most flinch-inducing parts of the prequels are gone. No Jar Jar, no pod races, no Darth Vader in diapers, no trade disputes, no midi-chlorians. It's actually astounding how little episode 1 matters to the rest of the story. Everything you need to know about episode 1 is summed up in the opening scroll of episode 2. In fact, booting out episode 1 makes episodes 2 and 3 better. The Padme romance seems age-appropriate, and Anakin seems like a jerk from the get-go. It also makes Return of the Jedi better because you jump from Anakin's fall to the dark side straight to Luke's parallel story of temptation, ending in redemption this time. I know it sounds sacrilegious, mixing the trilogies up, but give it a shot. So there you go, 5 ways to watch Star Wars ordered from worst to best. But that's just my opinion. To tell me why I'm wrong or suggest an alternate order of your own, you can tweet me at Donald or post a whole essay over at top5.cnet.com. I'm Donald Bell. May the Force be with you.